Hello to the World Wide Web. I'm Jess Joho, staff writer at Mashable, logging on to tell you the wild story of a 20-year-old piece of misunderstood early web history that changed the internet forever. Long before MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, or Tinder existed, there was Hot or Not. Launched in October of 2000 by two UC Berkeley grads, James Hong and Jim Young, it let you upload pictures of yourself for total strangers on the internet to rate your attractiveness. Today, Hot or Not sounds at best shallow and at worst obviously problematic. But 2 decades ago, it became one of the first ever overnight viral sensations. The website equivalent of a modern day meme spreading online only by word of mouth and inspiring countless copycats like Goth or Not, Rate My Poo, and Monkey Hot or Not. As ridiculous as it sounds, Hot or Not was the genesis for so many revolutionary ideas that still define how we interact with each other online today. We might have gotten rid of the 1 to 10 rating scale, but likes on Instagram selfies still basically imply a score of how hot or not the internet thinks you are. It popularized this gamified online social interaction where the internet basically gives everything you upload a collective score, whether through likes or retweets. Hot or Not was the first time millions of people turned to the internet as a collective judge of their self-worth. It was seen as a tool for honest assessment, almost like a digital mirror that couldn't lie. Evan Williams, the co-founder of Twitter, described how at the time, uploading pictures of yourself to the internet was seen as a scandalous, novel concept. But Hot or Not pioneered it, planting the seeds for what later became public profiles. Would any of us have been comfortable with MySpace and later Facebook without Hot or Not? Hot or Not later invented online speed dating with the Meet Me feature, which is now considered the precursor to modern dating apps. It invented the double opt-in matching system that Tinder then patented almost 2 decades later. Potential matches could only message each other after both parties had expressed mutual interest. It introduced the concept of digital consent to online dating, where other sites at the time, like Match.com, left female users to basically just be bombarded by endless unwanted harassing messages from men. Williams even noted how this double opt-in communication influenced Twitter's direct messaging system, requiring users to already be following each other. We take a lot of these innovations for granted today, but the internet was a totally different place back in 2000. YouTube co-founder Steve Chen described how Hot or Not launched in the wake of the dot-com bubble burst in the late 1990s. Only more traditional sites like Yahoo and Google had figured out how to make money from the internet, alongside, well, porn, because some things never change. But Hot or Not was the first key role model for financial success through virality. It was inspiring seeing these broke college kids prove the untapped potential of profiting from the web off of a simple, cheap, but attention-grabbing idea. Kun Gao, one of Hot or Not's earliest employees, who later went on to co-found Crunchyroll, said that it showed that anything was possible on the internet, and that the web was one big experiment that could serve as a social playground instead of just a place for utility services. By 2003, Hot or Not was earning $4 million a year, profitable enough that the founders offered to host their friends' startup for free. One of those startups was Twitter. Hot or Not is even deeply embedded in Facebook's history, as famously fictionalized in the 2010 movie The Social Network. A college-age Mark Zuckerberg is depicted as creating a Harvard copycat of Hot or Not named FaceMash, the precursor to the Facebook. Some critics point to Hot or Not and FaceMash as the genesis for misogynistic social media culture. Some research does suggest that these platforms, created mostly by men, can negatively impact women and girls in particular by valuing their physical appearance above all else. But Hot or Not co-founder Jim Young argues that labeling Hot or Not a one-sided beauty pageant where women were judged by men is inaccurate. Their data showed that on average, men submitted twice as many photos as women, and were even rated more harshly. In fact, the founders described Hot or Not as giving men a taste of their own medicine, by subjecting them to the same kind of scrutiny that women had always faced. The Hot or Not team also included 2 women, with Dawn Yo and Desiree Therianos saying that their input was highly valued. Everyone put thought into how to design the site in a way that would lessen its potential harms. They purposely avoided comment sections and forums, so people with low scores wouldn't get dogpiled. They used innovations like moderation systems that could quickly take down pictures flagged for being uploaded without the person's consent. There is no doubt that the beauty standards ranked highest on Hot or Not were gendered, racist, heteronormative, ageist, fatphobic, and ableist. Much like those who get the biggest followings and likes on social media now, online culture reflects the biases of the real world. But founder James Hong sees these aspects of the social web that trace back to Hot or Not as inevitable. Hot or Not and social media didn't invent vanity, insecurity, or sexism. But Hong said he does recognize that it is Silicon Valley's job to stop creating platforms that exacerbate them. Eventually, the founders sold Hot or Not in 2008 for $20 million. Later, British dating site Badoo bought it and, in a painfully ironic full circle, turned Hot or Not into yet another Tinder clone. Hot or Not, the site that inspired so many influential copycats, now exists as a bad copycat of itself. Reckoning with the site's legacy and impact on the social web is complicated today. But for better and for worse, whether we like it or not, we're all still living on an internet that Hot or Not helped birth.